everybody, welcome to Off-Road Ramble. I'm here with Ricardo Azevedo. He's our senior service guide here at Warner Ineos. We like to get to know people on the podcast, and you might be looking at this and thinking that is not a Grenadier. Pretty obvious, unlike the vehicle behind us. But as I've probably said before, here at the dealership, we've got some pretty sort of techie and vehicle-focused people working here. Yeah, they like their toys, shall we say. So this is no exception, right? So
yeah, sure.
CB1100 2014. Tell us about the bike. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is basically kind of like a remake of the original CB750 from 1969, like what we were speaking. So I'm really into like kind of vintage stuff. So that's what kind of attracted me to that. And it's like the Grenadier that we were saying, there's the no-nonsense type of vehicle that kind of attracts me, kind of pretty basic. Yeah. Like handlebar, engine, and a frame.
Yeah, there's not much to this, is it, in terms of... and when we did some research, guys, I didn't honestly know that it went back to 69, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really a big bike guy, but yeah, that's pretty impressive. But yeah, it is kind of... And it hasn't changed much, really, has it?
No, it's still air-cooled. Not a whole lot of power for the today's standards, but back then in 69, that was a revolution that happened to change the market until this day. Yeah. So the first super bike that was called back then. And
you were saying that this is kind of, off camera we were saying this is kind of a no-nonsense machine, but this was kind of the answer to some of the British bikes, which were not so good for different reasons, although they were very cool. So this was an answer to that, right?
Yeah, that is almost kind of like the British industry. Sorry.
No.
The motorcycle was kind of stale.
Yes, for sure.
With their product. And so the Japanese saw that opportunity and they say, okay, let's go to that market. And then basically this, or the CB, almost put an end of the big, because the British bikes were the big bikes back then. Yeah. And the Japanese was the smaller bikes.
Yes.
So finally the Japanese did the transition to kind of bigger bikes with a better quality and no oil leaks and stuff. So that was kind of changing the time, let's put it this way, when the Japanese started to dominate the market. It started back then.
Which is kind of what they did with cars, isn't it? In the 70s and the fuel crisis, it was just the right time, right, I guess. But so tell us about some of the other bikes you've got, and then we'll dip into what you've done with them. What else have you got?
It's a long list, actually, even to remember.
Give us 2 or 3.
I had like Vespas, Ducatis, the brand that I worked for 10 years for them. So I had several Ducatis like 999S, 848s. Nice. But I rode all of them because being the dealership, you have the opportunity to try all of them. Some motocross bikes too, and KTMs, Hondas, Yamahas. I never had a Triumph, but I rode them. And it's kind of hard to. There was so many. Recently we were talking, I just did a restoration on a 1989 CR125 from the ground up. That took me about 2 years to have that all done. It's almost kind of like the COVID projects that everybody was having during the pandemic. So.
Very cool. And as I said, I guess there are some parallels with basic machines, right? That just, it's very functional. Because it has to be, right? I mean, you could have a bike with a fairing on and some bits and pieces, but I mean, it has disc brakes, and it has, did you say this one has ABS because it has to? It's
it's mandatory.
But other than that, it's a pretty basic machine. I think there's a lot of people, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of people want to go back to a basic machine, hence why this thing does so well, without a bunch of stuff that you don't need. I think a lot of people don't like all of that sort of expensive nonsense. You know.
Yeah. This is the thing. That's what attracted me to even to come. It was such a coincidence. Everything happened because I was working at Audi, and right now, Audi, so far that I know, is that they invested so heavily in electrical cars, in all the technology and stuff. But in the same time, there is a new revolution. I'm kind of like the revolution. Sometimes, you know, there's how can I say, the end of result of a revolution. Like you're gonna have some losses, but I don't know if I'm expressing myself correctly. It's too much technology, I think.
Or too much too soon, maybe.
And a lot of stuff that most people don't even know how to use it, or will never use it. But they want to have it. And for me, when I came to work here, I started to do some research on the Grenadiers, and I say, hey, it's a purpose-built vehicle. Going back to basics, like like we were talking about the old movies, like the old Land Rovers and all those vehicles. You cross Africa, that's one of my interests. And I say, oh, well, I ended up landing in a place that I wasn't even thinking about that. But when you start to do the training, you start to see everything, the parallels for my personality. I see what I like. I'm kind of the vintage type of guy, and
so this kind of appeals to your sensibilities and the type of people that because obviously you've been the service guy, you're talking to a lot of people who've got these things, who've got Grenadiers, so they're talking about this, that and the other. So to understand where they're coming from, that helps, I guess?
And what I noticed, the parallel that I had with the Ducati crowd, this is not just a vehicle, it's almost like a lifestyle.
Yes, for sure.
You know, it's like, people that are buying this is more like kind of a statement, what they are, what they like, than just like a transportation. They'll be your everyday car. And they're proud to own a Grenadier for what kind of shows a little bit of, but they are basically vehicles sometimes. They're machines to take you from point A to point B, but the reality is that people want to kind of express themselves through the machine. That's how I feel. And so I thought, oh, that's kind of cool that people, they build a community around this. You don't see a community on like Honda Civic community.
I'm sure there is.
There's the
sorry, Honda Civic owners.
The street racer guys, I guess.
But I know what you mean. I mean, if you just drive a random everyday car with plastic bumpers and a 4-cylinder turbo, you just drive it for 8 years, throw it away and get another one. That's very different to driving this, you know, and it's just a machine for modern life, isn't it? You know, a regular car.
And reading about it, and even a part of the training is even saying that. So I kept doing the training. It kind of was amazing me. Like, oh man, I can't believe it, that that's the car that's gonna go to your grandkid.
You can
they're gonna stay in the family. You know, say this was my grandpa's car that's with me now. It's not more like a disposal vehicle like the new.
But even
ones.
driving around, for those of you watching us, we're in Salt Lake City. But you drive around, right, and you see, you know, you do occasionally see some old cars, but most of the old stuff is old pickups, old SUVs like old Land Cruisers, old Land Rovers, old Chevys, old Fords, you know, F100s, F-150s, square bodies, all of that. And like you said, that's the thing that people go, oh, my kids are going to have that, you know, because they keep them going, and they were, you know, simple and overbuilt, right? Not all of them, but some of them.
Yeah, but everything, like the world's evolving, is becoming disposable, almost feels like.
Which we're not supposed to be doing that. We're supposed to be going the other way. It's ironic, right? I know,
We're trying to save the planet, but at the same time, like...
throwing everything away.
And this is built to last. That's how I perceived here for servicing these cars now. Servicing for 10 years, some German brands. And then you see, okay, they're excellent cars also too, but they're heading in a different direction. I think that people will lease those cars, keep for 4 years or whatever they lease, and turn it in. It's not something, oh, I want to keep these for my son or for my grandkid.
They just want the newest one with the better wheels and the brighter lights and the.
It's like we see like these Land Rovers like 1950 something, and during the events when people show up like that, they steal the scene. Everybody's like, oh, what is this? And I think that's what we have with the Grenadiers. Like you guys just had a meeting in Moab.
Oh yeah.
There's a huge community there.
Did you go to that?
No,
Okay.
I was here. Todd ended up the part of the team went, but I kept following everything, and I was like, wow, that is once again is bringing that family.
Yeah, for sure.
You're in a family,
yeah.
like the Harley Davidson guys, right? That kind of even that's kind of older technology still, but they bond somehow.
Oh yeah, they do.
With that, and that's what I see of these cars. Like, and so far, everybody that I met in these cars are really. I know you almost have like a connection right away somehow. That's why they chose the brand.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's definitely something with a bit of spirit and a bit of soul, isn't it? And that's, if you think about why people drive something like this, it's similar to riding a motorcycle, whether it's on-road or off-road. It's making a statement, there's a community, and it's very different from, you have to be involved and you have to concentrate. You can't sit in here and, I don't know, order something off Amazon and think about everything, but you've got to concentrate, right? You're involved in the machine, so that's good. I think,
on
for the most
this
part.
older stuff, what I notice is almost kind of we have a world that's so aimed to perfection, but certain imperfections make the vehicle perfect.
Yes, and it's funny how that comes around, right? Yeah, for sure.
It's kind of like I had a Ducati that I every morning I was wondering if that would start or not. Well, it's kind of like because it's a big engine, high compression, the boom, and it starts. So you get used to that. You kind of when you just go even on that, you click there, will start. It's like almost. It's a weird feeling to explain, but it's just kind of
when it's more machine-like and it works all the time, which is a bit of a weird thing to say, but it lacks the soul then, doesn't it? Which it's not always the case, but I think if it mimics human emotion, then it's more interesting. If it's just a box that just gets you from A to B, there's might as well be a refrigerator or a lawnmower or whatever. Something with
Even there are machines like it's almost like when you're a motorhead or something, you believe that they have a soul, and somehow you even talk to them or
give it a name.
Yeah, exactly.
But you've only got to go into like a Barnes and Noble and see how many magazines there are for cars, bikes, different types of car, but I don't see any magazines for, and I'm sure there are, refrigerators or Lawnmower Monthly. Maybe there is, I don't know. But those things tend to be, I know people who collect tractors, which is a very basic vehicle, and some old tractors are very, very cool,
A Lamborghini starts as a...
Lamborghini started tractors, they did, they did.
As a tractor.
Yeah. So in terms of your job then, you've been here, how long have you been with us now?
Well, it's going to be my second month.
Okay. So in terms of roles, responsibility, you're the interaction from customers to the service department, right?
Yeah. Like we're saying, I connect the dots.
Yes.
Because I don't like to say that people, JD, I would say we need to problem solvers, but I don't want to face this as a problem. It's more like you say, okay, you need something, and then I will connect the dot with the technician to get what you need or the vehicle needs. And so basically, like, I'm a problem solver, but more like a dot connector, I guess, here.
And also for the customer, you are on the phone, the voice and the face of the company, aren't you, that you're dealing with? So it's a pretty important role, I guess.
I was even talking this with my wife, because it's like having experience in big dealerships that you had somebody that does the appointments. So basically, that I just do the service. You're just that. And here, you kind of overall you do a little bit of everything. But everything that I used to think like, maybe they should set up an appointment this way. And now I do how I believe they were supposed to.
You got a bit more
more detail oriented, kind of get the information, what they really need. Is there any recalls? Is there anything? So when they come here, we're already fully prepared to take care of all their needs, and maybe if they need something else, we add at the. But that's what I work in a smaller company kind of gives that freedom for you to kind of.
And that's the same in any big company, right? You become less able to make your own decisions, right?
Yeah. And so far so good. I think people are liking it the way, because once again, we're here to guide them through their experience to own. That's why I'm a service guide. To guide the experience of ownership of these vehicles. So, and I'm learning more and more every day with the guys here, so that I can pass to the customer also.
And of course, you're talking to Todd, who's been on the channel before. We've had him on talking about accessories, and he's, you wind him up and off he goes, kind of thing. And he's very knowledgeable, so you can work with him. So what he doesn't know is not worth. He's a great guy. So tell us about you did a bunch of racing, and we'll put some pictures up. You got some really cool pictures of racing bikes. Tell us about that, because that's really cool.
Yeah, the racing side, I think, being from Brazil.
Yeah.
I think
Being from Brazil, I didn't know.
Yeah. it's Formula One, soccer, anything that there's a competition involved, that the Brazilians are really mad about it. So I wasn't good in soccer, so it was kind of. My dad was not too happy with that, but.
Yeah, people always ask me, Americans always ask me about soccer, and I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. But my dad was really into motorsports, and so kind of that passed to me. But somehow my dad liked car racing and stuff. I ended up enjoying motorcycle racing. I don't know if it's because it was more affordable, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, what it is. Yeah.
The hospital bills are not, but due to the motorcycles. But when I came here, I did a little bit of racing in Brazil, but not a racing race. It was just very amateur type of things there.
And that was road racing or off-road racing?
Off-road.
Right.
Off-road racing. And here, when I started to work with motorcycles here in the U.S., and then the shop, I was very lucky. The shop where I was working was really race-oriented. And like I spoke, one of our technicians was the Dakar, the mechanic there. So, and he was a state champion here. So that kind of, they would say, oh, can I go with you guys? And so we started to do some supermoto racing, desert racing. Never won anything, it was just more like.
So just to be clear, not everybody understands what supermoto is. So that's a dirt bike with road tires on, and you're on multi-surfaces, right?
Yeah. You do a little part of dirt and part pavement. And jumps in between. So it was, it was a fun experience, but nothing that you can leave with that, kind of make your living.
And the desert racing, where did you do that?
Desert racing, we're in Utah, so it kind of is a paradise here for that. So I used to go ride in the desert every weekend, actually. So after riding every weekend, I said, okay, well, let me go do a race or two, and just to see how it is. And what was pretty was the Hare and Hound series. It was a national series that had won the.
And that's obviously on a dirt bike.
Yes. So it was full desert bikes.
And what was that? What sort of bike was that?
That one I was using a KTM.
Oh, okay.
No, excuse me. For the race I was using a YZ250.
Oh, okay.
With a desert tank.
And that's like a 4-stroke, right?
No, that was a 2-stroke.
2-stroke. Oh, wow.
Later I migrate to a 4-stroke, a KTM 4-stroke. But the majority of the races are done with the YZ. And it's a lighter bike. I'm a small guy, so it's kind of worked a little bit better for me then. And like we were saying before, all this experience of racing, I try to translate even to my life, my everyday life. I don't know, I'll say silly, but I start my day like okay, today I'm gonna be racing. So you have your breakfast, you're already thinking details of your day. That's all you learn when you're racing. Okay, you're gonna do these steps. You're preparing your mind for. Yeah,
because a lot of people think when you race, it's just you get in and off you go kind of thing. There's a lot more mental preparation, right? Yeah, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, you need to. Even during the race is is unpredictable, let's put it this way. But the more you go before prepped for all that, is you got to be better off when something happen.
Like for something that you don't expect, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like somebody that crossed in front of you that you're not expecting, and so I try to do this approach to my life. It's like the Stevie McQueen, like you were saying, that kind of type of thing. And I wake up, I pray, okay, my day today gonna be this way, I need to do this, and this. So I kind of refer back to the racing strategies, let's say, or
that's a good way to do stuff, to cope with the day and stuff. Because there's always, like here, there's always things going on and things changing, and you're dealing with people, so there's going to be curveballs, right?
It's very unpredictable. And it's the fast. How can I say? You need to have fast decision making, because one small detail can change a lot. It's like navigating in the desert. 1 degree out can take you 100 miles out of the.
Yeah, you ask the Rebel girls that. Yeah, they'll tell you that.
Oh, but they're still finishing third. That was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. So we did a big event at Bolt Farms up in near Camas in Utah, and you came up, and I was doing some demo driving, and you hadn't been in a Grenadier. So tell me about that experience, because that was pretty cool. And I forgot a little bit, but you reminded me. Go on, tell me.
Well, me and my wife, we got there and they suddenly say, I want you to try this vehicle here, what's capable of. So let's go uphill here. And it was kind of really steep mountain there. Well,
let's just explain. It was for me as well. I mean, it was big boulders, rocks, and it was really a UTV. And you've been a motorcyclist, you were like, wow, I didn't even get a bike up there. You have to really pick your way through. So it was pretty gnarly track, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah,
when I look and then you say, okay, now you drive. I said, I can't. I'll go with you. But I was even having second thoughts. I don't think this is going to make it, or if it's going to make it, going to make it with a lot of difficulty. And I hope we don't get...
It did look quite intimidating.
Yeah, I was very intimidated, I can tell you that. And it's so that you drove us up there, kind of explaining the capabilities of the vehicle, all the features that the vehicle had. So I was just kind of sitting in the back there, kind of like, oh, well, that's cool, man. I was like, I was kind of amazed, because I said, I can't believe the vehicle is climbing this. Because even a motorcycle would be really tough to climb that, let alone a car, bigger car like that. It was very narrow, that trail, like you say. So when we got to the top, you go, oh, do you want to go down now? I was like, no, I don't feel the confidence. So my wife, she's kind of more like a maverick more than me, I guess.
And daredevil, right?
Yeah, she goes kind of like, hey, I'll do it. And they were explaining, we have a video that you're explaining how to do it and stuff. And she did it with easy, and she told us pretty easy. What kind of amazing, because it's like, man, it's like, that's really technical. And I could not picture myself going up or down on that. And the vehicle did kind of no sweat, let's put it this way. So it was a good introduction for the brand, I guess.
When we do Moab again in next year, in I think it's April or is it May? I can't remember. But you'll have to definitely come down. And you'll be really impressed what they'll do. Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, thank you, Ricardo, for talking to me.
Oh yeah.
We'll put some pictures up of your bikes if you can do that. That'd be really cool. Some of the stuff you've done. All right, guys, I hope that was interesting, a little bit of an insight into how we work here, and I guess you'd be our newest member of staff, right? I think. Yeah, I guess so, so that's pretty cool. But if you have got any questions, please let us know, like and subscribe and all that cool stuff, and we'll speak to you soon. Thank you.